welcome to February. We've left January behind. It's February. I'm Nitty Nat Stitches, and I've got Lisa with me as well. Here we are. We're, of course, the admins for NoNewStarts 2021. We're coming to you with our start of February update. We've had a few days already, and we've got the swing of February. January's behind us, and so here we go. So as you might recall, we started off the year with 365 people in our group and 161 stitches in the main challenge. We've now got 160 people that are on our list as still being in the main challenge, with 11 people who have made claims for their freebies. So that is 149 people who are holding firm and haven't used a freebie and are stitching what they have.
That's really good. So well done to all of you, because, you know, that's 1 month in, you've made it a whole month. Some of you didn't think you'd get that far. So, you know, keep it up. And most people that I've been speaking to are going, I'm not even tempted to start anything. This is so good. I'm working on all my whips.
That's right. It's just been astonishing. And the finishes, oh my gosh. Whoa. 101, 126 finishes. We've had a few full finishes. And so we've got 25 page finishes and 101 finishes.
Yep, that's brilliant. And those were full page finishes. We weren't paying attention to the partial pages or the cell parts because they're not really big finishes. So thank you to all the people who've been posting on the correct spot on the finishing post for January. And that was, 126 posts. Amazing.
And some really, really lovely pieces of work. So Lisa and I went through this morning and had a look, and we've got some admin favorites, and amongst those favorites is our admin pick for Lucky Dip prize. So we have Carol Hibbert, Where the Hearts Rest by Brenda Gervais, Tonya Hook, God in My Garden. That one languished in a drawer for a long time and she got it done. So well done, Tonya. There were a few Mirabilia finishes. So Betty had one that was really quite beautiful. Sybil Hobie had her first FFO for the year.
Yes.
Okay, we had Jocelyn Gilchrist, who had a beautiful winter cardinal etching. I hadn't seen anything like it before, and I thought it wasn't a big finish. It was probably only about that big. It was beautiful. Really.
And if you want to see them, guys, it's still in the announcements post. So we're going to leave them in the announcements. They'll scroll down the list as the year goes through. So go and check them out. They're really worth checking out.
That's right. There was an absolutely stunning, electrifying drag race finish. So, fabulous. So well done, Brittany. You had a few finishes during the month, Brittany, so well done. Also Glenna and who else had?
Mary Pie.
Mary Pie, wow, heaps. And who else was there? Jan. Also,
Jan.
Yes, she was a big finisher as well. Victoria Martin had a beautiful Prairie Schooler Santa. Sagebrush Stitcher had Sailor's Knots, which was really detailed and beautiful. Who else have we got? There was Janice Wright with a Santa and Sleigh, and Fatima Yaha with her dogs, and Clista Garling with her big full coverage Haid of red, which
was well done.
Well done.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so well done to everybody who got their finishes in. That was, this is not a random pick. These are our favourites. So, and I get to choose who gets the freebie. And I chose Mary Pie for her unicorn, the unicorn tapestry, a little bit because, I'm stitching that too. But because I actually know how tricky that one is, it looks simple, it's super deceptive. Just the counting and the color changes, um, it's very fiddly, but it's such a lovely stitch, and you've done really well, Mary. Well done. Congratulations.
So Mary, you just need to message Nat
Mm.
to let her know your postal address so that we can get your Lucky Dip prize sent out to you. And it's an admin choice. We really appreciate. Thank you so much to all the generous people who've sent us their leftover stash that they don't want, and we've put them together. The admin team met last weekend, and we have divided it all up into the final raffle prizes. And then we also have some really cool things for these lucky dips along the way. And you never know what we might be deciding to do a lucky dip for. So keep participating, keep doing what you're doing to work on those whips, because that's what it's all about. Not starting anything new, working on the old.
That's
And
right.
you never know when a random lucky dip might come your way.
That's right. So yeah, as Lisa said, Mary, if you can tag me or message me through Facebook, that would be great.
Awesome. So that brings us to what are we doing this month? Nat and I thought it would be a great time actually to have an admin chat about what's happening this month. We're thrilled with how everything's going. Everyone's having a ball. So many positive comments. We love hearing the positive comments. Lots of people who are really getting the knack of knowing to look at the FAQs before they ask any questions, because they're usually answered, or
Mhm,
where to post and things. We've got, as Natalie said, a couple of people have gone in the oops post. They're all in the announcements. You can find them.
mhm,
But we started our little keep you interested challenges last month, and in February there's a couple of different things happening. So we have got, first of all, our Aquarius challenge is still going until the 18th of this month, because the zodiac challenges roll over when the zodiac star sign rolls over. So it's middle to end of every month, and it changes each month based on the star signs. We don't control that. So you should be finishing to work on your something to do with a water bearer, amethyst, violets and primrose, and air. So
mhm.
that's the one we have been working on, and that will be continuing over. But coming up, and I released it yesterday for those who like to plan, is Pisces. So Pisces will start on the 19th. Yes. And Pisces is a water sign. So you get to choose to do something in water again. What would you do for water, Nat?
I think I will have St Andrews because there's a beach scene at the back, and
Yes.
it's a big focus piece for this year. So
Well, I'm just looking to see which ones are mine. I have so many so many water pieces. It will really fit in with whichever I'm stitching on. But I'm just trying to scroll down because you guys haven't seen this one yet this year, and it's about to come out. So I'm going to share my screen and show you, because I like you to see. My pretty little Sydney. I know it's going to come out for something this month. So it might be my water scene for Pisces, because there's lots of water in Sydney Harbour.
mm,
So I might double, be able to flip that over depending on when I need to do it for. If it's a monthly one, use that one. The second thing is actually the animals are fish. So
oh,
now remember, for these ones, they're all optional, but for each one of these that you put a start and a finish, there's no counting. We'd like you to do at least 100 stitches or something, but it's basically just work on it. You get
yeah,
a entry in the fun raffle for the end of the year. So it doesn't matter if you've died in the main competition or you didn't enter in the main competition. Every member of the group can participate in these ones.
that's right.
Do you
Yeah,
have anything fish?
Anzac. Anzac's
Yes.
got lots of fishies.
He does have lots of fishies. Well, I've just thought of another one for me for fishies, because I haven't thought about these yet. This is my number sampler, and you can't see the fish, but that boy is fishing.
Well, he's hopeful for a fish.
It's hopeful for a fish. So I think maybe I know I want to work on that. It's one of my old whips. So I
Hmm.
might look at that one. The third one
And
is
that's one of those things is that there might not necessarily be the object in the whip, but if you can have a logical story to tie the prompt to the project,
yeah,
we'll pay it.
we will. It has to be a logical story though. So,
But planes, perhaps not.
No goats and trains, unless it was an obviously, if it had been a like a livestock cart, you know
Yeah.
how this, then we would have paid that. But a passenger train with goats on it, no, sorry. And we're not making fun of the person who said that. It's just one we remember because it was so funny. They tried really hard. It was great. We
Yeah.
like creativity though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what else you can come up creative for fish. Well, anyway, think of it. And some people have done one piece and tied all four into it, and others are doing four different pieces. Some are doing one, some are doing two. You do you.
It
Do
could,
whatever you works.
it could be a fish pie in a bakery shop.
I would pay that if there was a bakery shop and you could have fish pie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right, aquamarine is the gem.
Oh,
What's aquamarine?
aquamarine. It's a greeny blue,
Yep,
uh, but it's also it's a greeny blue gem.
I'm seeing if I can find a picture to share with
I would
us.
pay the color. I would
Yeah,
pay.
here we are. I got
Uh,
it. Here we go.
okay.
So
Hmm.
greeny blue gem, um, sparkly. It's sort of more
Mm,
it's more the aqua than the turquoise.
yes.
So there you are. That's actually gems. That's the real one. This one here.
Mm,
That's actually the aquamarine gemstone itself. There you go.
okay.
They look pretty
It,
yeah, the lines of stuff going through them.
yeah.
You
Okay.
know, that gives you some ideas. Tie it in with that. Definitely the color's the easiest way to go.
Yeah.
But if you're already stitching on something water, maybe some of your water looks like that.
Well,
That's the easiest thing I'd find.
yeah.
And totally different,
Mm.
daffodils.
Ooh. Oh,
Daffodils.
yeah. What have I got? I've got a fully finished that's sitting up on my wall, but I finished that on the 1st of January 2020. Long gone. Ah,
So daffodils, just in case you lived in a box, look like that.
I do not live in a box.
No, but daffodils. They are a particular type of bright yellow flower. All right. You
Mm.
can't just stitch on any flower and say, well, a daffodil's a flower. We're not paying that. It's got to at least be a yellow flower or a flower that remotely looks like a daffodil.
Okay. I think, sorry, Mary, you've finished your unicorn tapestry, but unicorn tapestry, I think, has daffodils.
Yep, I'd pay them as daffodils.
Yep. Especially the ones, well, it's kind of daffodilish, jonquilish, that one there and that one there.
I really will have to look for daffodils. I think I can find yellow flowers, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. But that's right, because we need to move along. So
We
we've
do.
got that coming up in No New Starts. And then the other things that we've got is on the 18th, we have our next round of Scrabble.
Oh,
So
how fun was last month?
yes, everyone enjoyed the last round of Scrabble. And again, Scrabble will run mostly the same each month, but then there will start to be just slight little differences. So you've got to read the instructions and everything. But again, there'll be a video closer for that. And our new event this month, which will happen a few times this year, on the 26th, is the Whip Frenzy. So there'll be more information for that the weekend before the Whip Frenzy, but that's an exciting event. So that's what's happening in No New Starts in February.
Yep. And just on Whip Frenzy, don't stress, it's super easy.
Yeah.
Super,
And
super, super
and
easy.
as with anything, there's challenges just for different people who want to do some. They'll fit in with the rest of your life. And if you don't want to do them, you don't have to. But if you do them, you may or may not get entries into the fun raffle.
That's right.
All right. So what do we got coming up? We're going to some few more before we go on with the general homework for other groups. Let's finish up with No New Starts. A couple of admin reminders that we haven't covered. Any you've got? I've mentioned some already.
Well, as some of you might recall, one of our moderators left the group earlier, well, in January. We miss her a lot. We miss you, Joni. And we would really love to have someone from within the No New Starts group come in and be a moderator. It's pretty light on. There's not there's a little bit of work that's involved. We will ask for your support in doing the album reviews twice during the year and then once at the very end of the year.
And on that, you have a section of the alphabet to look after.
That's right.
It's about 35 people.
Yeah. It's achievable, and you'll have the rest of the admin and moderator team to assist you if you need. We do catch up with each other about once or twice a month to just go over any issues that are going up and to laugh. We usually spend a lot of that time stitching and chatting as well.
But we also use that time, all our decisions are made as the admin moderator team. No one makes a decision on their own. It's always a collective, voting situation. So that's one of the reasons we want to have the fifth person, because we like the odd number. We need that.
Mm-hmm. And you'll be asked to help with answering questions that might come up, or to flag admin support if you need. So please get in touch with either Lisa or I, even if you're not sure you want to find out more. We do ask that if you do put your hand up for that role, that you're not adminning any other group.
Yeah, because it's really hard when you're trying to do the work for two groups, because inevitably things happen at the same time and then you end up getting stressed and overwhelmed. And we don't want people to be stressed and overwhelmed. As Nat said, the moderator role does not have a lot of ongoing work. You choose how much. If you want more, we can give you more.
Yes.
But the basic level we're wanting is not a lot, except for those album check times twice a year. That will be, a couple of days where you've got a lot to do. And if that lands, if you were doing another group on the same day that they've got a lot on, you're not going to cope. So if you're an admin or a moderator in another challenge group or group that's doing something that needs you to constantly be aware, please don't put your hand up. We'll put a post up, a wanted ad, and you can comment there, or if you want to tag us personally, without everyone else knowing, then just PM either of us, and we'll meet together with the current admin moderated team and discuss the options.
That'll be great. Okay.
And on that, separate but same, I did put a call out last two homework videos before, looking for more people who want to be guest presenters on camera or secret guests. And you don't have to have an album to be a secret guest, but you do have to be posting in the challenges so people can have some hope of guessing who you are. So if you're interested in being a secret guest or a guest presenter, please let me know.
Yes. All right. Shall we talk about some of the other challenges?
I think we should. And so the first one that we usually talk about is the Cross Stitches Journal and Daily 30 group. And they have released their monthly things for February, and it is super cool this month. Yeah. Oh my goodness. We are going to
Oz.
Oz. I'm trying to think what the land, but yeah, it's Oz. We are going to the land of Oz.
Or as they say in the Disney movie, the merry old land of Oz.
Merry old land of Oz. And you are so lucky that Natalie and I aren't launching into song, because I can guarantee both our heads are singing madly at the moment.
I'm going to have the worst earworms.
I know. All right, let me find it. Where is it? Here we are. Okay, so again, this is a closed group. It opened up briefly and it's closed. So sorry about that. You've missed your chance for the moment. But if you're in it, it's really cool, and so much detail and effort goes into these challenges. It's worth reading the whole lot, but we give you the really brief version here. You are going to stitch 300 stitches or 3 hours on each one of these things. And if you stitch 5 of the 10 prompts, you get a bonus. And if you complete 10 of them, there's an extra bonus. So I always try and go for the 10 if I can, but January was busy, I didn't get there. All right, enjoy your journey to Oz and back. Happy stitching. You're starting your adventure on the farm in Kansas. Stitch on a whip with something you see on your farm.
And Zach, it's got a sheep.
And Zach does have a sheep. That is true. Okay, I got to share my screen for you. I'm actually being very Oz traditional for this one, just because I could. And I'm going to do this little witch that's flying by the window, because in the tornado and the witch flies around. So I'm being very true to the movie. Okay.
Oh, no, that was prompt number 2.
No.
Prompt number.
Oh,
Stitch on
sorry. Oh, okay. Something I see on my farm. Sorry,
Oh,
that was prompt number 2. I jumped to it. All right. Well, the same picture, but I had fields of wheat. Yeah.
And
All
now
right.
we know what you're doing for prompt number 2.
I know. I did the same thing when we were talking last night. What have we got for prompt number 2? What are you going to? And you can be imaginative.
Things that fly by a window. Well, birds fly by windows. There's plenty of birds in Anzac.
There is plenty of birds in your Anzac. Okay. But yeah, they say use your imagination. So who knows? I'll probably accept anything. Again, we have no authority over the answers. We just use our opinion. All right, number 3, thud. Now you've landed in Munchkin Land. Stitch on your smallest whip. Smallest whip.
My smallest whip. Oh, goodness.
Do you want me to find mine while you find yours?
Yes, please.
Okay, I found my smallest whip, and it was Autumn Boxer by Lizzie Kate. It's only a little one. And so, yeah, doing some stitching on that, which is good because it's one of the ones that I think I'll easily get finished this year.
I think I will stitch on. Oh, it's tricky to see.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Winter Chill. Winter Chill by Autumn Lane Stitchery.
With your whips, that is your smallest because you like to do big things.
I do like to do big things.
Okay, the Munchkins have started off your journey on the yellow brick road. Stitch with yellow floss or put stitches into a piece with a road or path in the design.
Oh, phew. Okay, London. Life is an Open Book, London. It's my full coverage project.
And it's definitely got a path in it.
It's got roads.
Where is mine? Here's mine. Whoops, clicked on the wrong thing, sorry. Well, I want to get some work done on this piece, and it's hard to find because it's such a small one in my list. But I think it's time I got out my fairy tale village and did some work, because look at all that path all the way across the front. I know it's blurry. So that's what I think I'll do for that. But remember, if you do the color, it's 300 stitches in that color. Anything, it's yellow. So anything that says it's yellow or looks yellow would pass.
Yes.
You see a curious scarecrow in a cornfield. Stitch on a whip with either a scarecrow or a blackbird/crow in the design.
Anzac's got them.
Anzac does have them. Well, I'm undecided on this one because there's a few options, and I'm going to show you my options. Let me share my screen so you can see where I'm flicking. The first option is obviously to go with the scarecrow. And I know there's a scarecrow here somewhere.
I saw the Prairie Schoolers have got it.
Yes, hold on. But the other option is a blackbird. And as I scroll down here, like blackbird designs always have blackbirds, which could be a crow, couldn't it?
Yes.
So I could do like my strawberry fields or a blackbird design with the blackbird. Or there's a blackbird in that one I showed you before, above the witch. But I was still thinking scarecrow. And obviously it's right down the bottom. This is the joys of having 550. There's blackbirds in the pandemic sampler. There's blackbirds in the All Hallows Eve, and also because it's in black, I don't know if they're meant to be blackbirds, but the Christmas Eve. There's blackbirds in my American Homestead, and there's blackbirds in my Lizzie Kate spring, summer, autumn, winter. And I couldn't find my scarecrow. I know he's got to be there. Anyway, I'll go scroll up one more time, and if I don't find it, you'll have to, excuse me a minute, Louisa, go away. Here it is. Found it. My scarecrows. Because I have that scarecrow, so.
And if you wanted to do something about a farm, thinking back to prompt number 1.
I could double it. Yeah. Because anyway, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Number 6, a tin man rusted while chopping a tree. Stitch with silver metallic floss for 300 stitches. I want to do that so much. Or put stitches into a whip with a full tree in the design. Now, I would just like to say, they say a full tree. So I feel like it's got to be a full tree that is not obscured in any way.
Oh, so that rules out our May and the samurai. It also rules out winter chill because that's got only branches.
Mm.
Let's see. I was going to say Anzac, but the branches of the tree is just the shape of Australia. Ooh. Oh, here we go. This is a little unexpected, but in the journey has a full tree.
Yes, yes, it does. So that would be good.
Laurel, you can do this one too.
There you go. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. I have lots of options for this and I don't know which ones I want to do. The first one that came to mind was my Little House Needleworks, Little House Neighborhood, because it has all those full trees in it. But because that's my zombie run, I don't necessarily want to do it for a normal daily 30 prompt. But then I had a look, my bird in hand, this one here is, well, see, this is where I'm not sure. It looks to me, it's a full tree, but it looks like it's almost cut off just a tiny bit on the right.
But there are full trees that are behind the barn.
But you
But
can't
they're
see
behind
them.
the
Like,
barn.
I don't know how fussy they're going to be. And I just think since they were being specific, but I think a lot of these waxing moons, there's lots of full trees in those.
Right?
So I could do them. And then also there's full trees in Farmhouse Christmas.
Yes.
So I think I've got plenty of choices.
Hmm.
And I share them with you just to give people ideas of what they might have in their stash that's full trees. Whereas I'm not so keen on doing ones behind a barn because you can't see the full tree. I'd rather pick a full tree.
Yeah, where it's clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, a cowardly but friendly lion joins you. Put stitches into a piece with a lion or a cat in the design.
What did I say I was going to do? Oh, London, because there is a statue of a lion in London.
Well, that's got it. All right. Well, again, I have a few options. Obviously, for me, anyone who knows me would go, oh, Amazing Animal Kingdom. But no, because that's my zombie run. I
Yes.
have this beautiful angel lion and lamb full coverage. So it has 2 lions, a baby and a big one. So
Mm-hmm.
I could do that, but I'm thinking I might go with the cat and work on Gigi from Nora Corbett
Mm.
because that's got a really nice black cat in it. So that's the one I think I'm going to work on because I've got a few other full coverages this week.
Great.
You can't help but take a nap in a beautiful poppy field. Stitch on a whip that has a red flower in the design.
Ooh. London has a red flower in it. It has roses and red flowers.
That's good. Well, roses are definitely red flowers.
Mm.
Okay, again.
Oh, but there I have
Yep,
something
what else you got?
that I do need to work on.
Oh, yes, do that.
This. Hmm.
You need to work on that. So you need to do some work on that caterpillar cross stitch cell.
That's right.
What bloom and glow. Yes, I remember.
Mhm.
Okay, well, when I first read this prompt, my brain instantly went to a Paddock Lane Designs, lest we forget, with the field of poppies.
Yes.
You can't get much more poppies than that. However, we know how much I love stitching on 40 count.
Love it.
And I love it so much, and it's not part of my rotation that I'm looking at this week or this month. So instead, I think I will work on my farmhouse Christmas because in the vine around this quilt in the middle are red flowers.
Hmm.
And I think 16 count Ada might be a lot nicer to me than my 40 count.
Yeah, yeah. You can stitch on that at many times of the day rather than in the middle of the day with fresh eyes.
Yeah. So at last you've reached Emerald City, stitched with green floss or on a whip that has something you can relate to a city in the design. Stay away from trees, flowers, etc. Think urban. I bet I know what you're going to do.
No, you don't.
Oh, you're not doing London?
No,
Oh, you
I
surprise me.
have actually already stitched this prompt. And I did my Antarctic Santa who has a green jacket.
You did the green. I was going to say, how's an Antarctic urban? Yeah, it's really nice though that the prompts are so different. So you can do the 300 in green.
Yep.
Well, I can probably do both for this one. I can probably do urban and green by doing my pretty little Sydney. So that's, the town I grew up in. And that's one I think that's why it's coming out because of this prompt. Finally, there's no place like home. Add stitches to a whip that reminds you of home.
Anzac.
Of course, Anzac's a very good one to remind you of home. Well, you're getting a lot of work done on your Anzac. That's great.
Gonna get it done. Gonna get it done.
I've got to find mine. There we go. Here it is. Well, again, this is one that I wanted to work on, and it's sideways. I'm sorry, but it is Cuore de Baticore's Lavender Farm. And I distinctly remember being very fond of the lavender in the garden when I was at home as a child. So I'm going to stitch on that one to remind me of home.
Lovely.
So that is the Daily 30 monthly.
Ooh.
Yeah, very exciting. Yeah, looking forward to getting those ones knocked over and steering clear of my zombie run, which is also obviously happening. And even though it's a yearly challenge, it's like a monthly.
It is. Yeah, it starts over every month. And so, yeah, it's sort of what can I push through and
Mm-hmm.
double dip with my zombie run in other challenge groups
Yeah,
so that I can really focus on getting that out of the way so that then I can work on my monthlies.
definitely. So what's Magical Stitches doing for the monthly, Nat?
Oh, well, we are stitching to eradicate those monsters.
Yes.
So we've got it. And the beauty of this is it's very double dippable across the challenge groups. You cannot double dip the monthly challenges in Magical Stitches with other challenge prompts within monthly stitches, within Magical Stitches.
Magical. No. And
The only thing you can double dip with is on the Headmistress challenge. Although she's not the headmistress this year. She's a
camp director.
camp director. There
Yes.
we go. So the outrageous camp director challenge.
And on that, that's actually something that came out when they were doing their information video this week, which I recommend you go and check out if you're in Magical Stitches. Because Sammy and Vicky have done a monthly homework where they give a lot of detail about things, plus Harriet as well did a information one. So go and check those out if you're in Magical Stitches because they give you a lot of information. But what came out was that you can't actually double dip any of the challenges. So if you're doing the full coverage, you can only do your full coverage stitching for the full coverage challenge. You can't just use it in your monthly and add it to the full coverage. And the one that I'm going to find really hard to do with that is the smalls, because the idea was to finish smalls. But if you've used your small for a weekly, you can't use it to finish for the smalls. Not quite sure how that works, but just check out the video and get the rules straight before you waste your time doing something that you think you're doing for something that might not be.
So yes, you have the option of stitching 500,000 and 1,500, so 1,500 stitches on anything that you want.
It's great.
Which is great. So I will be double dipping across with my zombie run.
I was going to say zombie run, especially because the zombie run we got to do 2,400. Hey, Ivy.
I was just about to say, did you want to solve that?
Don't scratch the furniture.
For that.
The zombie run. So yeah, you might be able to easily knock out 1,000 by some of the zombie run. Maybe not. You could do the 1,500 maybe, but at least the 500 and 1,000 you could double dip with it, which would be good. And you can do the animal the monsters as many times as you want. But there's also still the yearlies to do, the building the cabins and things. So lots of free choice. Love that.
Yeah.
Semi-Sane has got a few things happening this month. Obviously, there's the February Focus Challenge again, 1,000 stitches on whatever piece you want. There is the, what is it, whip days, the different words that you can do stitching on, not counted, just work on a project that you can fit into carrot cake day.
Oh, okay. It's carrot.
Any vegetables do, apparently.
Okay.
Yep, that was the 3rd of February. We've already had that, 3rd of February. Send cake to a friend day is actually on tomorrow, the 7th. But that means you got to stitch on perforated paper because it comes in a box.
Oh,
So
I could double dip with my Santa.
you could double dip that with your Santa. That's good. I
Does it
have
need
an,
a code word for those?
pardon?
Does it need a code word for
No,
those?
no, they're fine. You just do them.
Mhm.
Any time in the month is fine.
Mm.
For me, I'm thinking maybe of doing a little bit of work on my herb garden by Mill Hill because it's on perforated paper. It's one of the ones I want to knock over. Library Lovers is on the 14th. So anything with books in it, I mean, any of the Amy Stewarts, we talked about that before. There's plenty of choices there. And Tell a Fairy Tale Day is on the 26th. So you can work on anything you can tie into a fairy tale. And just to give you an idea, because obviously Once Upon a Fairy Tale comes to mind, but I was talking to Laura because she wasn't, Laura, one of our moderators, wasn't sure what she was going to do. And she's doing the companion piece to this, Gingerbread House. Hello, Hansel and Gretel.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was thinking I was going to go as well with my Veronique Enginger Red House.
Yes, definitely. So they've got that happening. Alphabet rolls over next week. We move on to letter D.
I need to finish. I need to even start C.
You do.
That's today's work.
There you go. Yeah, get that done. So that rolls over to D, and then at the end of the month, we roll over to E. There's Poop or Potion happening and Stitchopoly, 2 fun games you can participate in. And
you don't have to stitch on. It's free choice with your width for those.
I find it hard. I'm doing Stitchopoly, but I find that hard because it's little stitches and I like doing big amounts of stitches. I have to keep stopping and I forget, but that's just me. People who like little stitches, it's perfect for them. There's also the spring cleaning.
Yes, I'm enjoying that one.
Can you tell us about that one? Because I'm not doing that one.
Okay, so I'll just pull up my, okay, so we need to stitch, and you can self-determine how many stitches that you do for the following 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prompts. So there's 6 prompts, however many number of stitches it's counted you choose to do. Although I think there is an uncounted version. Please don't quote me on that, I'm not certain. So the first one is to wash the windows. So you choose a whip with windows in it that need washing. I'm going to double dip with Joy in the Journey for that because there's windows on it.
Well, if I was going to do it, I'd double dip with my autumn box.
Then you need to weed the garden. So anything with a garden-ish sort of scene. And for that, I will be doing my Mirabilia Maidens of the Seasons because there's vines and grass and flowers. So
there is. Well, I could definitely join you in doing that. I might have to do this one. I might be able to achieve this one. Am I allowed to join it late?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. But I might do my Fairy Tale Village because it looks like it has lots of weedy gardens in it.
Weedy gardens and windows.
True. Oh, and windows.
Yes. And I'm sure those houses have kitchens because you need to clean out the kitchen.
Clean out the kitchen. Is it to do with cleaning or kitchen?
I think it can be an either or.
Okay. So I've got another whip that I'm working on this month, which hasn't come up for some reason. I don't know why. It must be in the weeklies, which we haven't got to yet. If I can find it, I'll mention it when we get to it. I'll find it.
All right. I might actually pull up the event itself because I'm kind of guessing at the moment.
All right. I found my whip.
Okay.
Here we go. Well, when you said kitchen, this is what came to mind. I like to bake cakes in the kitchen.
Good
So
one.
books, your birthday cakes, and I know I want to do that for, it must be the weekly this week because it's on my brain that I'm doing it for something. So I could double it in that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'll just step back there. The next one, and I chose to do I'm choosing to do Shakespeare's Fairies, because who doesn't want a fairy to help clean the kitchen? Oh, there we go. You're back.
Yeah. Sorry, just had to
Yep,
interject.
yep.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So that sounds good for the kitchen. What else?
Clean the car.
Oh, yes. Easy. 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 Easy.
Yep. You've got something with the car?
I've got something with a car.
Ooh.
It looks like I'm going to be doing this one after all. My farmhouse Christmas has that big red ute.
Yep. I'm going to tell a story with this one. I'm going to tell a story so that I can stitch on St Andrews. You need to clean out the car so that there's room for golf clubs. Hopefully that gets paid. Next one is paint the house.
Paint the house. Well, that would be anything with a house, wouldn't it?
Yep. I'm going to do Newcastle bouquet. So while there's no house, when I'm done, I'll be able to put out the flowers.
True. Definitely.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll probably do joy in the journey. And a whip that is a chore.
Does it have to be a real chore or just one I can pretend is a chore?
Well, a whip that you find that is a chore.
Well, I would actually do my herb garden because perforated paper is a chore for me.
Yeah.
I don't want, yeah.
Yeah. I would probably choose St Andrews just because of all of the confetti.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
I love
All
it.
right.
But, you can love your chores too.
All right. So that
Mm.
that
So
is
yeah.
that's what semi-sane's doing. Okay. Sorry, my husband was just leaving at the same time. I was trying to multitask. All right, and then that brings us, the only other one would be full coverage fanatics. They got anything new happening in?
This month they're focusing on so they've got a reading stitching the books challenge. This
Mm-hmm.
month they're focusing on romance, and you've got 3 books there. So there's Outlander with quite a lot of stitches, The Notebook, and Water for Chocolate. And with that, you need to tie whips in with couples and pairs, chocolates and desserts, or hearts. I will probably choose St Andrews, which isn't obvious, but when you play golf, you play in pairs.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
That would work in pairs. So I think, oh, I don't know what I would do. I haven't really have a full focus brain at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure one of the Amy Stewarts would fit in with something.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bit of romance happening in Once Upon a Fairy Tale.
Well, there would be, or there'd be pairs of animals, I'm sure, somewhere in my animal kingdom.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's 2 of at least one animal. I don't. It's not all in pairs like Noah's Ark or anything, but it's
Can you think of those monogamous animals that might be there, such as penguins?
So I think I'd find something to do. So that'd be good. Okay. So that's the monthly stuff. There's lots happening. I mean, no one should say they're bored.
Golly, no.
In fact, I'm the opposite of bored. It's like I almost have too much to do. There are also is monthly challenges happening in mythological stitches,
Yes.
which if you give me a second because I didn't get it up. There's lots of monthly things happening there too. It's a great group that has lots of fun things to do. They're having a Valentine's Weeking challenge. They're doing challenges based on Finland in February, and it lasts for the whole thing. But basically, for the challenges, you've got to do 500 stitches or 5 hours on a project you can link to animals, birds, or bears. So I think we've covered that already.
Mm-hmm.
The second challenge is a project that you can relate to a whole list of deities, of which, I mean, the one that jumped out then was god of crops and harvest. So we could tie that in with the stuff we were doing for the farm,
Yes.
as an example. The third one is got a few parts. You've got to stitch 500 stitches on one that has gold, treasure, or something else you consider valuable.
Ooh.
That's a trickier one.
Mm.
But you know, I've got an idea. Well, I do have some gold, but I'm stitching on this one at the moment, which is Mountain Cabin.
Mm.
And I actually consider water to be valuable.
I totally agree. And I'm sure there are people in California at the moment who would say the same thing.
Fresh air, yeah. So fresh air and water be valuable. But if I was going to go really boring, which I'm not because it's not on my brain power for the moment, my 5 gold rings.
Yes.
And if you didn't want to do that one for your 5 gold rings, then you could do this one for your 5 gold rings. Nat, where is it? I know you could do this one.
What, this one? Oh, no.
Is that the one I'm knitting up?
This one?
Yes, that's the one I got. You got there first.
I know well.
Joya Noel, 5 gold rings. So we
Yeah.
have options that you don't necessarily think of. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then part B, you have to do, keep the same pace. A project you can link to music.
Done.
Done. There's 1,000 stitches on Joya Noel or whatever.
Yes.
I don't have as many musical pieces anymore, so it probably would be my 5 gold rings.
Mm-hmm.
Because I finished my usual music one. Oh, no, silly me. I'm an idiot. I could do these. Here comes treble and first bass from
Yeah.
Ink Circle. So, but yeah, there's options. Yeah, so there you go. So that's what you can do for mythological for the monthly. Okay, I think that's all the ones that we know of that have monthly. There's other groups that we're not involved in. So I think we've bored you enough with monthly.
Yes,
So,
let's move on.
all right, last thing, weekly.
Hey.
Because it's the weekend for us. And look, you know, we usually try and cover all the weeklies, but we have to wait till pretty much Monday afternoon Australian time to do that, which for Nat and I is very challenging. So this week we thought, you know what, we're just going to go through the daily 30 weekly, and we're sure that you can get the other videos to catch the magical stitches. And okay, you'll miss the supernatural, but hey, join the group and you'll know what it's doing. And you can catch it
Yes.
then. So magical stitches. What have we got for the no, not magical? Blah, 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 daily 30 weekly, Nat.
Oh, okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prompts.
Right.
It is Valentine's week.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. And I am going to use the one whip for everything.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, all right. I am going to, so the first prompt is stitch on a whip with an uncorrected mistake.
Well, that could be almost any of mine.
I'm paraphrasing, but yes, it's basically stitch on a whip with a mistake that you've just kept on going.
That you fudged.
That you're fudging.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do, Lisa?
No, I don't know. Could be many choices. I'll leave that to decide later.
All right then.
Do you want to save what you're doing to the end of the things?
No, I can
Show me now. Yep.
All right. So I am stitching on I Give You My Heart.
Barbara Anna.
Barbara Anna. And I made a mistake in her hair, and I am working around it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's next?
Next.
Oh, how many stitches are we doing, by the way?
Oh, it's 200 or 300 stitches.
Thank you.
And if you can't stitch on that and you need to do alternate stitches, then it's an additional 100 stitches. Okay, the next one is stitch on a piece of fabric that is a scrap.
Well, a scrap means a scrap, or does it mean a piece that's not a regular size?
That is exactly right. Not a
Okay,
regular size.
not a regular size, because I was thinking I have lots of.
Yeah. So it could have been a piece that was off-cut from something else. And so it's, a bit higgledy-piggledy. And my I give you my heart has actually got like a little corner that's cut out of it because it must have it's one that I picked up from a charity bin.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of linen that I picked up from a charity bin that was imperfectly sized. It's crooked, but my project fits in it, and so it's good enough.
I can't answer that at the moment, only because looking at my cover photos doesn't tell me about my fabric. But
Hmm.
I know that particularly the earlier Paddock Lane Designs dyes are all very irregular sizes based on what I found and how they were. I'm getting more into regular sizes now, but there's plenty. So yes, anyone who's got some of my dyes might have a irregular size more than a scrap.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll have a look and see. It'll be easy. I've got plenty of choices.
Hmm. The next prompt is stitch on a whip with something that comes in a box. Now, we had a chat about this yesterday afternoon, and while the prompt does talk about chocolates that come in a box, many things come in boxes, such as shoes.
Yes.
Shoes come in boxes. So if you're really struggling, find a whip with a person with feet that are in shoes.
That would be probably the easiest thing to find. Um, you know,
Well,
anything you buy from China these days comes in a box. So you could almost get away with saying, you know, lots of things. Furniture, buy it
yeah.
from IKEA, comes in a box. You buy books from Amazon, they come in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, lots of things come in a box. I actually think, though, that might be why I was thinking of this one. I'm not sure, I haven't written it down, but usually buy a cake in a box from a bakery.
True. Oh, yes, you're going to get some stitching done on that.
I think so. So maybe the cake's in the box.
Mm. All right. The next one, stitch on a whip that you love so much that could be monogamous with.
Gosh. So many choices. So many choices. This is a daily 30 homework, so I don't want to double dip with that. As you can tell, I really haven't done much in the way of planning for this one.
Hmm.
I'm looking. You obviously love Barbara Anna. We know that.
I have a thing for Barbara Anna. I could be monogamous with her.
I'm. I actually think that I actually really enjoy this one. My farmhouse Christmas has been really enjoyable to do, and I've only stopped stitching on it because I've known it would be useful for different prompts.
Yes.
So maybe I could get that finished if I did it for that prompt.
Yeah, that would
That,
be a good finish.
yeah, so maybe that.
Mm-hmm. All right. And the last one is stitches into a piece with a ribbon or something that can be tied to a knight with a K. As in,
Ribbon or something that can be tied to a knight with a K.
yeah, so as in Knights of a Round Table.
Well, once upon a fairy tale, obviously.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
have a really good ribbon.
Mhm. What about ribbons around a cake?
Yes, ribbons around the cake, or if you're doing Alice from Mirabilia, she's got a ribbon.
That's right. Many of the Mirabilias have ribbons.
And if I was going to try double dipping, this one, my 5 gold rings have a ribbon around them.
People who've got Princess Eliana, they've got ribbons. Trying to think of other ones. But that was the last prompt. And of course, then there's the daily 30, which is stitch for 30 minutes in a day on whips that on anything of your choice, but minimum 30 days, 30 minutes in a day for 5 days. Not
Hey,
30 days.
30 days in the month and you get the prize? No.
No.
Awesome. No, well, that's good. So I'm going to be continuing to work on my older whips that I'm trying to finish. I'm not sure which one I'm picking yet. I haven't actually got to spin my wheel because I got a new phone, so I have to remake my wheel, but I've been working on the ones that I'm, getting through. So there you go. Well, I think that pretty much does us for this video.
Wow, marathon, huh?
Sorry about that. It has to happen sometimes. But
Yes.
look, if you lasted to the end, well done. Hope we could help you with a few ideas. And as usual, if you have any questions about No New Starts, jump onto the question thread. There is a question thread. We check that thread, it notifies us. If you just put a normal post, we don't often see it with our busy lives. And we have to wait till someone tags us in it and we go, oh, someone's asking a question. But
Yes.
please check the FAQs and the files first because a lot of the questions are answered there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mary, please contact me.
All right. Well, thanks guys for joining us. We will look forward to seeing you next week.
Week.
Bye.